Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to the Daily Packers Post, where we give you in-depth daily coverage of your Green Bay Packers. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, bringing you the latest news about your favorite team. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and hit the like button to help get the word out about our show. Today, we're going to discuss whether or not the Packers should bring back center Josh Myers. Myers is scheduled to be an unrestricted free agent, going to hit the open market unless the Packers re-sign him to a deal. And it's a tough call in some ways, but I do have a definite opinion as to what the Packers should do. Now, there are reasons you would want to sign Myers again, and there are reasons why you would not. Let's start with the reasons why perhaps the Packers should bring him back. First of all, more than any other unit, the offensive line relies on chemistry and continuity. Knowing what the other player next to you is going to do is a big part of a successful offensive line. And look, we've seen that the Packers' offensive line did not allow a lot of sacks. 22 sacks in 17 games put them up among the better teams in the league at protecting the quarterback. And then you had a running game that was fifth in the league in yards gained, sixth in the league in average yards per carry. And obviously, Josh Myers was part of that success that the offense had, both protecting the quarterback and running the football. And look, Myers has been consistently healthy and available. In the last 3 years, he has started all but one game. And, you know, the old expression in the NFL, the most important ability is availability. Myers has been available. But, oh, yeah, what happened in that one game when Josh Myers wasn't there? They moved Elton Jenkins from left guard to center. They plugged in Jordan Morgan at one guard, Sean Ryan at the other. And let's just say the absence of Myers was notable. Myers is a leader. He is a smart player. And for whatever reason, Brian Gutekunst really likes what Josh Myers brings to the table. He had a quote saying that he thought this was Myers' best season, that he's really high on what he does. And, I get the feeling that Gutekunst wouldn't mind bringing back Josh Myers if, and it's a big if, the price is right. But then there are reasons why the Packers should not bring back Josh Myers. And let's start with the Pro Football Focus grade. And I'm not going to sit here and say I always agree with Pro Football Focus. A lot of their grades are based on a certain amount of subjectivity, but it's also a neutral third party viewing game film and grading players. So I take it with a grain of salt, but I think it does have value. And out of the 40 centers that took enough snaps to get a qualified grade from Pro Football Focus, Myers was near the bottom of the grading. Now, he graded out better as a pass protector than as a run blocker, although the kind of run blocks that Josh Jacobs thrives on, the double covering one guy and creating that little hole and having Myers run between the tackles, make a guy miss. Myers, it plays more to his strengths as a run blocker, even if overall he graded out average as a pass blocker and well below average as a run blocker, according to Pro Football Focus. The other factor is this. Offensive line is one of those positions where you're only as good as your weakest link. Well, if you look at the Pro Football Focus grades, the Packers' offensive line's weakest link was Josh Myers. And you do get the feeling that the team could probably upgrade that, Pro Football Focus grade and hopefully also the performance on the field if they were to move on from Myers. And they don't necessarily need to go out and bring someone in. The Packers under Brian Gutekunst have valued versatility among their offensive linemen. So, Elton Jenkins, capable of playing center, did it in college, did it for that one game that we mentioned earlier. Zach Tom, perfectly capable of playing center. Gutekunst even said at one point he thought coming out of college that center would be his best position. Now, I don't think the Packers want to move their two best offensive linemen, but certainly you have Jordan Morgan, who was a first round pick, didn't play much this year because of injuries. He can slot in at guard, possibly even at tackle, and you do have a certain amount of flexibility. You also drafted Jacob Monk, but he didn't take any snaps on offense as a rookie. Probably not quite ready to step in and start at center. So those are the guys on the roster. Sean Ryan also played some center in preseason last year. So theoretically, he could step in at center and you could move Jordan Morgan to right guard and have a little less disruption to your better players. These are options. I'm not saying they're ideal, but the other alternatives are you can either trade for a center, draft a center, or sign a center in free agency. And the last issue, I think, becomes cost. You get the feeling that Josh Myers would probably get a contract similar, not identical necessarily, to what John Runyon Jr. got last year when he hit free agency. And you may recall the Packers and Runyon both expressed an interest. Hey, Green Bay said we'd take him back at the right price. Runyon said, hey, I've loved being a Packer. I'm perfectly willing to re-sign if we can reach a new deal. Well, what happened? Runyon goes out and signs a 3-year, $30 million deal with the New York Giants. That's $10 million a year. That's a heck of a lot more than the $3,400,000 roughly. I think it's $3.47 million cap hit that Myers carried this past season. If Myers is going to get $8, $9, $10 million a year to be re-signed, I just don't think the value is there. You could draft somebody or sign a mid-priced free agent and probably, even if initially that draft pick, for example, is not as good as Josh Myers to start the season because he's learning the NFL game and is inexperienced, his upside by the end of the season, by his second season, he could probably be better than Josh Myers. And again, Myers just not grading out particularly well. So for monetary reasons and for other reasons, I think the Packers are probably better off not bringing back Josh Myers. But if they do bring him back, I don't think that's a terrible thing. I think that, I would welcome him back. I would hope he would improve his production. And I think another thing is this. I think it's a little unfair that Myers is always compared to Creed Humphrey, who was drafted right after him. And Humphrey, multiple Pro Bowl player, Super Bowl rings with the Chiefs. Myers, kind of an average to below average graded center. If Humphrey was not available or wasn't picked so soon after Myers, I don't know if Packer fans would feel as critical of Myers as they do. But at the end of the day, I think the Packers can use their money to upgrade the center position by moving on from Myers, and that's what I would recommend that they do. For more in-depth daily coverage of your Green Bay Packers, check out thepackerspost.com. We have our articles up at that website. And again, we're here every day, Monday through Friday, bringing you videos that cover the Packers in an in-depth manner all year long. I'm Gil Martin. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Have a great day, everybody. And of course, go Pack Go.